For a small charity like Charity Digital, keeping our data safe is incredibly important to us. But how do we actually set about doing that? Well, the first thing is to actually understand what personal data we actually hold. We need to think very carefully about why we're holding that data and how long we're holding it for. Because the first way to actually reduce risk is to reduce the amount of data we're holding. So the more we hold, the more risk we've got. Once we understand what data we're actually holding, we can start to think about how we're actually ensuring that that is secure as well. So maybe that it's stored with in commercial software that's provided by a vendor. So has that vendor actually got the right types of protection in place? And then I think one of the main areas in which risk really comes to the front is when we're starting to share that data. So how do we share that with other individuals? So certainly emailing personal data is a big risk. So if you need to send the information, particularly to someone outside the organisation, look at can you send a link to a file, a file that might be securely stored in the cloud with a link to it, which is only authorised for certain recipients, is going to be much more secure than a file that's actually attached directly to an email. So the three cybersecurity measures that I'd look for a charity that's on a budget to implement are, first of all, keeping all software up to date. This is incredibly important, and actually it's very often free. One of the settings you can have on your machine is to automatically install updates. So if you have that turned on, that's a great place to start. The second area that I'd look at for a charity to stay secure is in this area of staff training. And there's some really great resources out there that can help with this. So the National Cybersecurity Centre have produced it's an online learning tool, which you just click on a link and it takes your staff through various exercises to help them learn to be more secure in what they do. And then the third area I'd look at for good cybersecurity is having antivirus software installed. So if we think again about phishing, if you're lucky, you've trained your staff and 99% of the time they won't click on anything that they shouldn't. But no one's perfect all the time. So occasionally people will click on things that you'd rather they hadn't. But good cybersecurity software, good antivirus software will actually spot most of these malicious links. And again, this is relatively low cost software, so you can get them from like £6 per user per year. So this is not a lot of money to keep your charity more secure and safe. The ICO, the Information Commissioner's Office, can be very helpful here. So they have a form which takes you through the steps you need to think through to decide, one, whether it's officially notifiable as a breach, and two, to help you really just risk assess it. So how serious is this breach? It takes you through that whole process of how you actually risk assess and then work through what your response as a charity should be.